All right, welcome back to the loft house. The next order of business is to build a staircase. And we're not going to get super detailed with this, but we are going to use it as a way of talking about components and how to make components kind of synergize with each other. So the first thing we need to do is save this as a new model. We're going to call it Loft House 6. You don't have to keep saving it as a new model, but you might find it useful. So I'm gonna first want to make sure that I always have like a camera angle to get back to. So I'm gonna kind of center myself here, make sure my field of view is 65, and then add a new scene. And we're gonna call this scene staircase. So that I always have like if I get caught in the middle of a wall or something, I can always just click that and get back to this angle so that I can move in. So next thing we want to do is we need to figure out what our riser height is going to be. And what we'll find out is that if we measure this, code is that a riser should be no more than 7 3/4 inches high. So we've got 10 foot 1 inch from ground floor to second floor. If you divide that by 15 steps or 16 steps, you get 7 9/16 inches, which is a little over 7.5 inches, and that's the best we're going to do. So we're going to go 7 9/16 inches for our riser height. And then we'll go with a pretty standard depth of 11 inches with 1 inch of nosing. So we'll add that in as we go. So let's make 11 inches our riser depth. So we'll take the tape measure and we'll measure out 11 inches. Actually, you know what we could do is we can do 10 inches and then have 1 inch extra nosing, and that'll save us some space. So we'll go out 10 inches, and then we'll get a rectangle tool and start at this intersection, and then rotate a little bit gently back till we get our square. Immediately, triple click it, right click, make a component, and call it a riser. So this is our riser. We no longer need our guideline there. So we'll go into editing this thing, pull it down 7 and 9/16. So 7 9/16 inches. And then we'll back out of editing it, click on it, and we'll do our move copy. It will go move from the top corner, match it to here, and then we'll pop down to our staircase angle, and we'll do 15x. So 15 steps puts us exactly at the ground floor. So you'll even see it, like if you can merge down into the ground, you can see that it leaves it's like flush with that plane. So that gives us exactly that. Just do a little math, it's the same way you calculate any stringer, except you're not making stringers, you're just making the risers. Obviously this doesn't look very good, so let's fix that. Let's go into one of these steps, and what we'll do is we'll select this face, and we'll use the push-pull tool to click on one of these faces. And then if you hit the control key, you'll notice it actually creates a new face, and that gives us something to reference to. So that operation, again, you click once, and then you hit the control key, it creates a new face, and then you can refer to that. So you've got like basically two faces here now, one here and one here. And notice it's editing all of the stairs at the same time, which is exactly the behavior that we want. So let's select this edge right here and grab the move tool, grab it from this corner, and then just pull it back here. So that maneuver is pretty straightforward. I just use the select tool to select this, then grab the move tool, grab it from this corner, pull it back, and refer to this endpoint. And then you get the nice smooth underside here. I'm going to clean this up a little bit by using the eraser tool and hitting Shift Erase, and then doing the same here, Shift Erase, and that gets rid of all those extra lines there. And you can probably just clean up that line completely. And that gives us our risers. Now, what we want to do is we want to add our nosing. So the little toe kick, the little 1 inch piece of wood that sticks out from the steps. Now we want to add it to all the steps on the front. So that's easy enough. We'll just go in, edit one of these, and we'll take our tape measure tool, and we'll measure down an inch, say 1 inch, and we'll take our line tool and measure across 1 line. We'll grab our push-pull tool and pull this out 1 inch. And that gives us our 1 inch. And we could leave it like this. Our 1 inch nosing on each step looks fine. Let's get rid of that guideline. Delete all guides. And close you. Okay, so that looks fine. But I think that if we added some extra nosing on the outside here, that would actually be a nice little detail. And it gives us an opportunity to try something out. Because what we want to do is we don't want to add that to these, because then you'll have visible geometry that's clipping into each other. So what we instead want to do is start making some steps unique. So the first thing we're going to do is let's just group the entire staircase. So get out so that you can see the whole staircase, drag a selection box from left to right. By the way, if you drag a selection box from right to left, it does something different. So make sure you're always dragging from left to right, and then we'll talk later about how you can use the right to left method to your advantage later on. But left to right, basically this is the way it is. If you drag right to left, it'll select anything that it touches. If you drag right to left, it'll only select things that are completely within that box, which is an incredibly handy tool if you use it right. Oh yeah, I forgot to erase these lines over here. Shift erase, shift erase, shift erase. So that erases them from all of them. Super, super easy. So now let's go into the staircase group. I didn't group them. So let's redo that. Let's grab all the stairs, right click, make a group. Okay, so now the stairs can be, added to a tag if you want, or they can be, in some other way. They're all together as one coherent unit. So let's go into the group, and let's pick this one, this one, this one, this one. Anyone that has any sort of geometry that's down below this top. So this is the last step that only has nosing on the front. And then we'll take these ones and we'll say make unique. So now what's interesting about this is I made these ones unique, but they're all unique just to each other. So if I make any edit on any of these steps, it'll only affect these ones. Now you'll notice that this step, this step, and this step are all completely unique. So we'll have to do those ones individually. So why don't we just do that? So now that those three are ready to go, we'll do the method where we just do it one at a time. So let's go ahead and select one of these and grab our line tool and drag a line across. Refer to this, and then or infer to this, and then I have our side nosing right there. And then this actually also drew a line there, so let's drag this back 1 inch. So now we've got a cool little extra visual feature there, and then we'll do the same thing on this side with our line tool. We'll drag back here, infer to this point, boom, and then up, and then push pull out 1 inch, and then loop around here and pull this back. Oops. Click 1 inch. Now, so the ones that are completely downstairs, these 4 steps are done. The ones that we have to change, each kind of individually with each other, which I admit is kind of annoying, we can do it this way. We can go in, or we can go like this. Click on this one, make unique. There's only 3 steps that we have to do this with, so it should go pretty quick. So we'll select this one. We've made it unique, and we'll go into it, and we will draw some lines right here, boom, and right there, boom. And now Shift H to hide the rest of the model, and we'll use the push-pull tool to get rid of that, and then the eraser tool to get rid of any extraneous geometry that we don't need. And maybe that. Well, we'll leave that line on there. And then when we hit Shift H again and click out, you have nice clean geometry right there. So let's do the same thing on this one. We'll click on it, right click, make unique, and then double click on it to edit it, and we'll take our line tool and we'll draw in everything that we need. Shift H to hide everything else. Push pull this down until it's gone. Okay, so I'll have to use the erase tool to get rid of it completely. There we go. Oh, it left a little bit of a bit there, and I think that looks clean. Shift H to bring everything back, and that looks good. Now, you might not do that in reality. You might do something a little bit more clever there, but I think that this is a good start. This is the last one we need to edit, so we'll right-click, make unique, open it up, and we'll grab our line tool, and we'll draw in all of this geometry here, back to there, and then, of course, we'll take our line tool and draw in this line right here, Shift H to hide the rest of the model, and then we will push-pull this down to here, grab our eraser tool to get rid of all this extraneous geometry, nice and clean, and go back over here and do the same thing. Only here we have, oh, we forgot to do a line here, so this line goes across to there. So now we can push-pull this down, and that one erased by itself. So sometimes it does it right the first time, other times you have to do it yourself. So, and that should clean up all of our extra geometry. Oops. Let's go to the staircase view. And there's the staircase. We'll add a railing in the next video, and we'll see you then.